Namaste and hi friends, it's Parvati here with Visionary Veda, bringing you your full moon lunar eclipse Vedic astrology report for this lunar eclipse happening on September the 17th or 18th, depending on where you are in this big, beautiful world. In this report, I will go over the energies, both positive and negative, at play during this very cosmic lunar eclipse. And I will also discuss the 2 weeks following this eclipse. It is known as Pitru Paksha, and it is the time to venerate our ancestors. So let's go ahead and get started. All right, so this lunar eclipse is falling in the sidereal sign of Pisces in the Nakshatra, or the fixed star of Purvabhadrapada. Now, if you have not seen my full-length report, which I detail the energies of this Nakshatra Purvabhadrapada, please have a look at it. It'll give you further insight into the energies and the qualities of this very cosmic nakshatra. It's got so many incredibly deep esoteric meanings to it. So be sure to check that out. I will put a link to that video in the description box below. But let's talk about this eclipse. Now, this eclipse is happening when the sun has just moved the day before into the sign of Virgo. So it's happening at 1 degree 30 minutes or so. And the eclipse will be happening in Pisces at 1 degree 30 minutes. Now, it's a very significant point because later on next year, when Saturn and Rahu meet and conjoin, it will be conjoining almost exactly on this same eclipse point. It'll be conjoining around 2 degrees. So this is going to be a very activated part of the sky. Now, what does this all mean? So the Purvabhadra and all of the nakshatras have 4 padas, or 4 sections. Purvabhadrapada has 3 sections in Aquarius, and then is the bridge that carries over into Pisces, moving from our communal mind, our communal energy, into the collective energy of oneness. Now, Pisces is a highly spiritual sign and a very deep water sign, indicating our subconscious mind or unconscious depths of mind. In the Navamsha, it will be falling in the sign of Cancer, which is also a very emotional and sensitive place for the moon. So this already sets us up to indicate that this is going to quite probably be a very emotional full moon. Now, the mind, as you know, is indicated, it's represented by the moon. And Rahu, as you know, is causing this eclipse. Its shadow is falling on the moon. And Rahu indicates confusion, delusion, deception, uncertainty. So a lot of fear can come up during this time. A lot of confusion can come up. If you are going through any kind of an emotional intensity at this time, whether you're suffering from depression or just feeling lost in your life and confused about what direction to go, if you're suffering from any negativity or any negative self-talk or any kind of heaviness, including any sort of suicidal ideation, it is important, very important, to be on high alert. Make sure you have extra support around you at this time. And I strongly recommend practicing some mantra. Now, in this report, I will give some mantras which you can use during this eclipse time. starting now, especially on the day of the eclipse, as well as a few days after, it would be a good idea to practice these mantras. Why is that? Because mantara, man is mind. Mantra is that which protects, nourishes, and supports the mind, especially when we're having any kind of deeply emotional volatility occurring in our lives. So Purvabhadrapada, if you've watched my previous video, I explained that some of the symbolism, one of the symbolisms for Purvabhadrapada is a man with two faces. So during this time, the energy can go two ways. It can also be an opportunity to come out of that negativity and change into a path of purification and a practice of any sort of esoteric practices or spiritual practices. It's very powerful to practice mantra, meditation, any kind of sadhana during this time. In fact, it is said that when there is an eclipse, it is best to go inward, and any spiritual undertaking, any kind of concentration, meditation, japa, mantra recitation has a very powerful impact. Its energy gets multiplied during the eclipse. So if you do have a spiritual practice, make sure to go inward and focus on keeping your mind in a state of balance. If you have any predisposition or any tendency towards wanting to escape through intoxication, you must beware. You know, Pisces is the sign that we just want to dissolve. We just want to transcend. And Purvabhadrapada has that upward moving Shakti, that upward moving energy that actually lends to us transcending the mundane. It has that tapasya, the austerities, the discipline, practice, the upward momentum of transcendence inherent within it. So it is a great opportunity to raise our awareness, raise our consciousness, move into that space of bliss, of understanding, of evolving, of growing, or with, as that man with two faces indicates, it can take us down into the depths of serious addiction. It's quite dangerous. It can put us in a hole that might take us quite some time to climb out of. So if you are wanting to get rid of any kind of bad habits or any kind of addictive tendencies that you use to escape reality, because that is the energy, is to rise above the mundane. And if you're using intoxicants during an eclipse, it could be dangerous. But if you want to change that pattern, and it could be also negative thought habits, negative patterns that you want to break, negative habitual ways of being that you want to shift, it's a very potent time in which you have the cosmic energy to support you in changing from one direction to another. It is best to not view the eclipse. Now, why is that? Because we would be taking in the impression of Rahu. Rahu is the shadow that covers the moon. And so when we're looking at an eclipse, we are imbibing that shadow. We're internalizing and taking on the qualities of confusion, of delusion, of deception, of addiction into our minds. And so it's very important to not look at the eclipse, to not eat or drink anything during that 4-hour eclipse window. After the eclipse is finished, well, during the eclipse is the best time to meditate and do your spiritual practices. It will generate a lot of power, a lot of energy and Shakti. It will help you tremendously. And then after the eclipse, it's best to bathe and then make fresh food and take in the fresh prana. It's a very inward time, and especially because it's eclipsing the moon, it's eclipsing the mind. So it's best to not make any kind of decision, any kind of impulsive action, any kind of argument or conflict with others, because it can get overblown out of proportion, and you might have a hard time to mend anything that you put into motion at this time. You might regret it afterwards. So just use this time to go inward and maintain as much balance within your mind and your body and your spirit as possible, because in effect, what's happening in the sky is that the sun, our soul, the earth, bhuloka, or the body, and the moon, the mind, are lining up. So it's a great time to become that center, like that balance. Is a great time to align your energies and uplift your consciousness. Now, a couple of mantras that can be used to not only help you to purify. It's a great time to purify as well. It's a great time to not only let go of addictions, but it's a great time to let go of anything that is not serving you in your life, as well as starting a cleanse for your health, cleaning your house, cleaning out things that are holding back your progress in life, especially your peace of mind and your spiritual progress. So a couple of mantras. The first mantra is a Vishnu mantra. Now, Vishnu is our sustainer. It will give us that balance. It will feed us with positive energy in which to not only sustain, but to thrive. Now, Pisces, being the 12th sign of the Kalpurush, or the natural zodiac, the mantra is specifically for the 12th house. And even though Pisces may not be your 12th house, it's still the 12th sign. So it protects you from unnecessary losses, and it sustains you so that you can balance and remain in a state of equilibrium during this time. And the mantra goes like this. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. And I will put all these mantras, I'll write them out in the description box for you as well. So that will help give you support and sustenance. Now, the next mantra is for Lord Shiva. And what Lord Shiva does is protect your mind from any incoming negative energies. It's a simple but very, very potent and powerful mantra. And it is Om Namah Shivaya. 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 So reciting this mantra will protect and repel negative energy and thought forms. It will uplift and illuminate the mind. And the last mantra is known as the Mrityunjaya mantra. Now, what the Mrityunjaya mantra does is it assists us in letting go of that which does not serve. And the Mrityunjaya mantra is Om Trayambakam Yajamahe Sugandhim Pushtivardhanam Urvarukamiva Bandhanan Mrityor Mokshiyamamritat. This is a mantra to aid in moksha, or spiritual liberation. And Pisces is the sign of moksha. And the fourth pada, or the fourth section of any nakshatra, is the moksha pada. So the mind and the emotions, it's up to you whether you let it heighten and take you over and fall back into your negative tendencies or habits, or shift it using the power of Purvabhadrapada Nakshatra and its two sides to elevate, purify, and become reborn. Again, these nakshatras, Purvabhadrapada and its twin nakshatra, Uttarabhadrapada, form the funeral cot. So there is an inherent energy of death and transformation and liberation possible to access during this eclipse. There are a couple of yoga postures, because if you've seen my Purvabhadrapada video, we talk about the deity that rules Purvabhadrapada, who is a Rudra known as Aja Ekapada, who is literally a one-footed goat climbing the mountain. You can imagine the effort it takes to climb a mountain only having 1 foot. So there's a couple of yoga postures that you can do to help become in tune with this nakshatra. One of them is obviously the tree pose. And the other one is Garud Asana, the one where you're on 1 foot and you're twisting your leg around 1 foot and your arms are also entwined. So Garud Asana, I think in English, it's called the eagle pose, and then the tree pose. Use these one-footed poses to help you maintain your inward balance. Now, starting from this eclipse and going into the next solar eclipse, which, by the way, I'm not going to talk about here because I don't want to digress too much, but this next solar eclipse is also very strong and powerful, and I think it's going to be a positive one, but I will do a whole new video covering that. But yes, the moving into between these two eclipses is the fortnight, or the 2 weeks of Pitru Paksha. And in the Vedic tradition, it is when the veil between ourselves and our ancestors is the thinnest, so we can access our ancestral lineage. Now, why do we want to do that? Because everything that we are comes from our ancestors. And a lot of people don't like where they come from. But it's really important to recognize, to acknowledge, and to have gratitude for our ancestral lineage, because it is through them that we are able to be who we are. Now, I know that a lot of us are here to break and clear out generational curses or ancestral curses and traumas which we are carrying. So this is a perfect 2 weeks to connect to our ancestors and liberate them. The reason that we're still having to carry out these traumas or curses or karmas passed down through our lineage is because our ancestors aren't at peace. They weren't able to achieve what they wanted while they were still in this life form. So by venerating them, being grateful for having who we are because of them, by asking them what it is that they need from us, by forgiving them for whatever it is that they fell short on in their lifetime, we are not only clearing these generational traumas and curses for our lives, but on the behalf of our entire lineage. We are liberating our ancestors so they can feel peace, feel acknowledged, know that we are grateful for them, and then they can let go of their grip over the karmas that we've inherited. So a few ways to do this. One of them is to set up an altar. It is the best to set up the altar in the southwest area of your home. Southwest is best, but southwest is also good. Set up an altar, put photographs or any kind of objects which symbolize your ancestry. Give them, offer them water to drink or some yummy sweets or food to satiate their appetite. Light an incense, offer them flowers, light a ghee lamp or a diya or a candle to give them light, and just focus on them. Even if you don't know who they are, just call out to your ancestors. Ask them to help you. First, ask them how you can help them, how you can satiate them. What can you do for them? See, I'm offering you this drink of water. I'm offering you these sweets. I'm offering you this food, these flowers. I'm grateful for the whole lineage that came before me. What is it that I can do to make you happy? What is it that you need? Or I am good. I am doing my work. I am moving forward in my life. I am doing things that my ancestors were never able to do. Please protect me. Please guide me. Please be proud of me. And please be happy for me. And just by acknowledging them, you are giving them your attention. You're giving them a sense of being acknowledged and recognized. And that's what everybody really wants, is to be acknowledged and to feel like you are grateful for everything that they have tried to pass on to you. So it's a very powerful time. You can also chant a mantra during this 2 weeks. And it is a mantra that just holds the ancestors in esteem. And let me try and remember it. I just lost it. Okay, so it's Om Pitru Devataya Namaha. Om Pitru Devataya Namaha. Om Pitru Devataya Namaha. And reciting this mantra, offering them your attention, offering them the fragrance, the light, the food, the water, satiates the 5 tattvas, and they can still take in through their etheric senses your offerings. So may your ancestors be at peace. May your mind be at peace. May you elevate your spirit during this full moon lunar eclipse. And I will see you in the next video. Enjoy the life, my friends. Let go of those things that have been holding you back. Make an effort. Make a vow to yourself that you want to change and feel good in your mind, body, and spirit, and let go of everything that does not serve you. Clear the slate so that you can elevate and rise to the best version of you and enjoy this sacred life. All right. Until next time, thank you so much. Oh, please like, share, subscribe. Please share with people who you feel would benefit from this information. Please comment on how you're feeling this full moon eclipse, and be sure to like, because it does help in my video getting more views and this knowledge touching other people. So thanks so much, and I wish you a very happy full moon. Take care now. Bye-bye.